Hello girlies. Yeah, I just want to make a video today pertaining to moving, could be a very trying time, but it also can be like so exciting, so new, so fun. So I'm going to get into some tips and tricks that I used when I was moving and some great advice my mom gave me when I first moved, and then some things that I want to keep you optimistic about, knowing that you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. So, let me tell you a little bit about my history with moving. So, I lived in one house my entire life. I have never moved living with my parents. I've lived in the same house since I was born till the time I moved out. And I moved out when I was 20, so this will be going on my 7th year living alone. And boy, have I learned a lot. I have some things that I wish I did better, some things that I did pretty well, and then, of course, things you learn along the way. But the first time I moved, I was a junior in college, and I was 20 years old. The best, if you don't take anything from my video, the best advice I can give you is the advice my mom gave me. And at first I was like, yeah, it sounds great, but I'm not doing it. And then as I bought the first thing, I was like, this was genius. So, my advice would be, before you move out, if you know you're planning to move out, whether that be 6 months, a year, if you know 2 years in advance, even better. But know before you move out, unless this is like a last minute, you got to do what you got to do. If you have the opportunity to know a year plus in advance when you are planning to move out, please start buying now. Like, the best thing I did for myself was buy all my furniture, buy all my toiletries, buy linens, buy my decorating stuff before moving, because baby, once you get that apartment, you're broke. Unless you're maybe doing well for yourself, but I'm serious. Things crop up once you have an apartment. Things that you didn't budget for, things like utility bills going up differently because of the weather, things like your car, things like if you have an animal, oops, we got to go to the vet. Like, things crop up. So the money you're planning to spend on the furniture, once get the layout of the land, get it before. I'm serious, it will save you so much. Before I moved into my first apartment, which I coined the Cube, because she was a cute first apartment. She was 725 square feet. So she wasn't tiny, but she was teeny. My 1-bedroom apartment. Loved her, stayed in that apartment for 5 years. So when I say like it was teeny, it was tiny, but it was definitely lovable, doable. And if it wasn't for us getting bought out by a different company, I probably would still be there. But it was really just God pushing me to evolve and do better. So obviously I love where I'm at now. It's 10 times better. But the Cube, I bought all furniture before moving in. I stayed with my parents, obviously, so I had a headboard for my bed. I didn't need to buy that. I had a dresser. Scratch that. I actually ended up keeping the dresser at the house because it was a huge dresser. It was one that my mom bought with her old bedroom suit that got inherited to me once she bought a new bedroom suit, and she's like, we're not getting rid of this. This will be yours. So I had this huge dresser, but I couldn't take it with me because it is a solid, huge piece of furniture. So then I bought a dresser, bought I DIY'd a nightstand. I bought all my furniture, dining room, couch, anything you can name. I bought it a year in advance. And what started this was my mom buying me toiletries, like things for my sink and rags and towels. And she kept telling me, you need to buy this stuff before you plan to move, because we already had a date and time that we were planning to move. Because she said, once you get here, those bills are going to be due. You won't have the money to just buy furniture. Now, again, this is ideal. If you're staying at home, this is your first time moving, do this. Now, if this is your second or third, you kind of know what you're doing, but I still advise buying in advance. I'm just telling you, it will change the game, because that money will evaporate once you move. Like deposit fees, pet fees, carport, uh, valet trash if you got it. I mean, like, they just throw things on you. Leases change, policies change, and don't forget, when you sign that lease, the last line you sign is, this is our property and we have the right to change the policies at any time, and you are agreeing to fall in line, basically. So just to let you know, things do change in an apartment complex. Well, hopefully they give you some notice, but it doesn't change the fact that funds may be different, okay? Biggest advice I can give: buy furniture before you move. Now you're maybe asking, okay, I bought the furniture, where the hell am I going to store this furniture? You got to get a storage unit. I'm sorry, you may not want to, but just think, a storage unit is way cheaper than rent, okay? Just think of it as an investment. You're getting all your things together, so once you move in, you won't be having to spend this money. Your things will be bada boom, bada bang, done, okay? Like, you can just style and, paint or do whatever you want to do once you get in, but, like, you won't have to worry about buying furniture, where to store it. And I'm just going to give you a little story. When I was buying furniture, the first piece of furniture I bought was a dining room suit from Kittle's Outlet. That suit cost me $600, and I had to put it on layaway, which means, you know what it means. I bought it, put $300 down the first time, came back and bought the other bit and put the other $300 down. So now that I bought this dining room table and 4 chairs, I was like, where am I going to put this? Luckily, we have a garage, 2-car garage, and I was able to finesse it in the back of my mom's garage. But it was in the way. I mean, we could barely get to the refrigerator out there. You were, sucking in and getting through and trying not to chip it and all the things, right? So that worked out for a little bit of time. And then I bought, my mom found, again at Kittle's Outlet, these sectional pieces that were, they were display pieces, but they were not a part of the sectional. They were just chunks of the sectional that they were selling separate. And it was 2 pieces, and they were like huge pieces. So I was able to finesse it and make it like a cool little, I don't know what you would call it, but it vibed, it went with the feng shui. And it was this triangle piece that was like this, and then a square piece. So the square piece, I let it sit alone, and then the triangle piece, and it was like more like a half stop sign. It wasn't like a true triangle. It had a little unique shape to it. But we bought those for $120 a piece. Okay, so this was my couch situation for like the first 2 years of moving out. And then my dining room set. So once I got those couch pieces, it was a done deal. It was no longer we can put stuff in the garage, because I was putting lamps in the garage, side tables in the garage, the little knick-knacky stuff, lamps, pictures, just little bitty things, flowers, towels. That stuff you can easily pack in a garage. Once you started getting big furniture, it was no longer going to fit in the garage. So from that point on, I told him, I said, you know what? I think I'm going to get a storage unit. And here's the caveat with a storage unit: that price will go up. So I advise you getting a bit of furniture already, finding somewhere to store it in your home already. I'm sure your parents will be willing to work with you. And if they aren't, you know, maybe you will have to buy the storage unit before you before I would advise. But if your parents allow you to store it in the house, if you have a basement, because I was able to store some things in the basement of my home, um, if you have that resource, use it as long as you can before you can't use storage unit anymore. Because I'm telling you, I got a storage unit probably 5 to 6 months out before moving, and about every 60 to 90 days, the price was going up. They would get you in easier, saying, a cheap little down payment. I think when I first started it was $80, and I think by my 6 month mark, I was paying like 140. And I was just like, how is 6 months so the people that have storage units forever, I don't know how you're doing it, because that's damn near a mortgage payment. I'm exaggerating. Let's say a car payment, a good AC bill. I know that for a fact. So I'm just like, but in my mind, it was an investment. It was much, much cheaper than rent. And I wanted to get my furniture so that once I got in, I didn't have to worry about what I need to buy. So that's my first tip. Get furniture. Second tip, get a storage unit. Say a mood board. We all know what those are. What your vibe is. For me, I used Pinterest. To this day, I use Pinterest. If I have a color scheme I want, I'm going to go to Pinterest and see, I want a green color scheme. What colors did they match with it? What colors do I want to match with it? And then we can find somewhere in the middle. I can get some inspirations on how they styled something. I can get inspirations on, like, if they have a wallpaper, I like that. So just collect your mood board. If you're at a store, my biggest tip is, if you're at like a Home Goods, TJ Maxx, consignment shop, take pictures. Take pictures of what you like. You may not be able to afford that, but if you take pictures, and now that we live in the day and age where you can just put a picture into Google, drop that picture in there. They'll give you some suggestions that are just as cheap, if not cheaper. Hopefully cheaper, because this economy, we need cheaper. But definitely take pictures and find the mood, because nothing is worse than getting in a place and you love it, but you don't know what to do with it. Now, that's never been my experience. I pretty much know what I want. When I moved to my cube, it was my first big girl move. I had no parents to tell me what to do. It was gonna be a girly palace. The place was pink and gray, and we had feathers and pearls, and it was girly. Okay, this place, and I say now, I wanted to be a little bit more mature, a little bit more grown. I'm 26 now. It's like, the pink was cute. 5-year chapter, loved it. And I still have some pink in my place, because I love me some pink. But I just knew that's not what I wanted for the entire feng shui. I wanted more earthy, more brown, more grounded aesthetic. Now, is it still going to be whimsical? Yes, because I love whimsy. If anything, you will find out throughout my page. If it's some color, a pattern, a print, a little razzle dazzle, I'm gonna like it, and I'm probably gonna try to get it. Like, that's just what I am, but that's not everyone. So if that's not you, that's fine. Figure out what is you. Okay, tip number 4. It's going to be shop second hand. Now, it doesn't have to be Goodwill, although they have some gems. I'm personally not a Goodwill girly. However, the consignment shops, that's where I'm at. There's some great consignment shops in the Midwest that sell furniture. Hit the outlets up. Like I told you, my dining room set, Kittles. My first couch, Kittles outlet. I bought my dresser from a consignment shop. My TV stand from a consignment shop. Everything I basically had in my first apartment, if it was not at home, Wayfair, it was a consignment shop. The only piece of furniture that was not secondhand was my bed. I'm not taking it there. If that's what you got to do, no judgment here. But for me and mine's, A bed is kind of where I draw the line. I'm not a thrifty girl for clothes. You can see I have some meat on this body, and they don't cater to us like that in thrift stores. Now, if you're mid-size, get it. But I'm not having that luck, and I don't have that patience. So if you're that girl that can do it, good on you, girl. But it's just not. It's not my ministry. But do not sleep on those consignment shops for furniture. I'm telling you, they have some real one-of-a-kind gems. Even in this apartment, I still looked for consignment shops. My dresser that I got, I didn't have to go to a consignment shop, even though I did, and they didn't have what I wanted. But my dresser, Facebook Marketplace, boo. And I know everybody says, hit up the Facebook Marketplace. I don't even have a Facebook. But you know who does? My 60-something-year-old mother. And you know what she did for me? She knew exactly the vision because I told her I wanted a tall dresser. I wanted it to be wood. And bada boom, bada bang, she was on there and found the perfect dresser. She wanted $100. I said, can we do 90? So, baby, and we went to go pick that muggy up. So do not sleep on consignment shops. I think when I moved to my cube, which means I had no furniture besides a bed and a desk, because that's what was in my room at home, everything I bought, I think for all my furniture, dining room suite, nightstand, dresser, couch, and coffee table, 2000. Now, for some people, they're going to say, oh, that's too much. But I just want you to think, a dining room table with 4 chairs. So that's 5 pieces of furniture right there. $600. Coffee table, $100. My couch, $120 and 20 a piece, which is $240. Like, I pretty much stayed on budget. My TV stand, I think maybe $160. My dresser, $140. Like, the consignment shops is where it's at. And even if you gotta travel, that's fine. Just think, if you go to a consignment shop and you don't know how you're gonna get it there, if you were to buy something brand new, it would be easily $400, $500. If you get you a U-Haul rental, pay the little $80, $90, you're still under what you will be paying for something new coming to your home. And it's already built if it's at a consignment shop. You just gotta pick it up. So do not sleep on those consignment shops. That literally furnished my whole first apartment. Now this place, it's a little different. I did get a new couch while I was still at the Cube, but we got that from Home Goods. And I can't tell you the price. I think it was like $800, but my couch is pretty big. She's pretty large and in charge. So I feel like $800 for a couch, that's a deal to me. If it's not in the budget, understandable. I started with $120 sectional pieces for couches. They were the vibe. I'm not a person that has a whole bunch of company, so I didn't need to share. I enjoyed my little sectional pieces, and we made it work. But this place, I was able to have like a nicer couch. At home, that is where I reside. Okay, if anything is new, it's at home. I got me a little bitty chair, like couch sofa situation for people that can sit in my living room area now. My bar stools at home. My pictures at home. My mirrors at home. This right here, $5. I'll pan up a little bit so you can see it. You see that mirror? $5 freaking. So you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to look like you got it put together. You don't. So if you take anything away from this video as well, get that furniture a year in advance if you can. And get to the consignment shops and the at-home. I think people sleep on the at-home. Get your butt to the at-home. My bar stools, $80 a pop. We were looking even at consignment shop bar stools. Nothing is under $100. And if it is, it should be because it's ugly. So just know, hit that at home. RIP to Garden Ridge. But now it's at home and it's still thriving and doing well. And I love me some at home. Now, I'm not an advocate for Amazon because, come on, do we need another monopoly? However, but make it work for you. So if you want something and it's a reasonable price for you on Amazon, order it. I have some sconce lighting from Amazon. My coffee table is from Amazon. I think I have some mood lighting. I have some mood lighting in my home that is from Amazon. So make it work for you. If you have an aesthetic and it's out the budget, but you know Amazon's going to come through for you, hit up Amazon. You know, you gotta make it. You gotta make it do what it's gonna do for you. So that's my tip for, Amazon essentially. And do not let people tell you you cannot have mass-produced artwork in your home. It's your home, and let's be real. Whose house have you seen that has the same furniture as yours? That has the same pictures as yours? Now, we know the millennial gray and the millennial white has taken over, but you're not going to find that here. I'm a colored girl. But if that's the vibe, then you will see your stuff everywhere because we know what it's going to be. Granite countertops, white on white on white. Like, that's nothing new. If you like the clean aesthetic, good on you. But if you want to do what you want to do, get that mass-produced picture. It's not going to hurt nobody. It's your home. If it makes you have a feeling, do it. It is yours. Tip number 5. Hire those movers. I'm just going to say it. I did a move by myself and my family and some good friends the first time around. That was cute. I didn't have that much stuff. I was going from a room to an apartment. Of course, I got stuff from my storage unit, but those little knick-knacky things that you have in your kitchen, and you don't accumulate stuff in your closet, and you don't put stuff in a storage unit that you don't even check but once a year because it got your Christmas stuff in it. Like, that kind of stuff comes with living alone, and I had that for 5 years in my cube. We moved here, I was like, I have accumulated too much stuff. And you know what that means? We're saving money and we're getting those movers. And that's exactly what I did. Again, the same way you do saving for furniture a year in advance, set a goal for yourself and save it before moving. My goal personally was $3,000. In 1 year, I could save $3,000, and I did it. And what did that go to? The movers. My movers, I think, were 500, 600. The best money. I would pay double. The best money you can spend. I didn't have to lift a finger. They packaged it up, carried all that heavy shit down some stairs, and it was great. Up some stairs, and it was great. All I had to do was say, I want it here, I want it there, I want it over here, and it was done. Loved it. Hire those movers. I'm telling you, it's the best money you will spend. You may hate it in the moment, but the minute that moving day. Oh, and another tip, if you are hiring movers, be the first one on the call sheet, okay? If they have a 7 a.m., don't cry about it. Get your butt up at 6. Get yourself together. Get them people some coffee or some donuts or do whatever you want to do for them. But when you're number one on the call sheet, they're giving you their best work. They're not exhausted. They're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They're on time when it's in the morning because you're the first one. So that's my tip. Get those movers and be number one, okay? Make sure to get the earliest time you can. That's my tip for you. And lastly, tip number 6. How to package your clothes. Now, this may be a weird one for people, but I'm telling you, it cuts down the time into a third, okay? It is One of the best tips my mother gave me. So there's 2 tips on this list that are from Mama Johnson. And let me tell you, that saving and buying your furniture a year before and how to package these clothes takes so much stress off of your body and your time. And I'm telling you, it is so worth it. So here's my tip. Those clothes you have in that closet, do not package those in a box. Those clothes you've been dreading to pack, do not pack those in a box. What you need to do is put you down a sheet on your bed. Take a good chunk of your clothes, not too much because, again, you're going to have to be carrying this. So it is going to be like biting you in the butt if you do too much. But as much as you think you can carry, take your clothes off of the hanger, off the rail, carry that onto your bed, throw them on the bed. You're going to tie the sheets under the hanger hook. So you know how the hanger hook is like this. You're going to tie the sheets right under there on where the hanger is, and you can hold it from the handles, or you can just do it like a Christmas sack and just have the clothes all the way stacked up on the hangers, throw them in the sheet, tie that sheet up, throw it in your car, and I'm telling you, once you get to your new closet, you just undo that knot. You don't even have to hang anything personally. You just take it out of that package and hang it up. It will, I think I unpacked my closet in 5 minutes max. I'm telling you. That's what you got to do when you're moving. So, if you have any great tips for my community as well, or things that worked for you that maybe I should try, because I just moved. I'll be a year in this year, because I moved last year. I'll be a year in 2026. So if you have any more moving tips, I will not be moving again. I will be signing this lease. I have put too much love into this apartment. I won't give a full apartment tour, but I will give you room tours. Like, I just won't show the layout, but I will show you room tours. If you're interested in that, please comment down below, and that'll be on the rise. But I've done a lot to this apartment. Changed light fixtures, put up wallpaper, painted every room, hung a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're interested in what my vibe is and how I did some of these trips, and I can show you the things that I said I bought from the consignment shops, that I bought from Kiddo's Outlet, that those things, let me know. Just comment down below and we can get into that. But I hope you all are having a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Again, wishing everybody a great year. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And if you have any questions, any comments, let me know down below. I hope you like this video and hit subscribe. Have a great day.